Hey guys, it's Pam. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Pam, obviously, and I am a first semester non-traditional nursing student in a 2-year ADN program at my local community college. Today is December the 4th. Tomorrow is my first day of final exams, which is why I look the way I do. On Tuesday, I also have a final exam. Wednesday is my final of final exams. Just a video to do a little wrap up since I've been gone for a while. I wanted to catch everybody up, give some tips and tricks of what I've learned so far in my first semester of nursing school. So that's something that interests you, make sure that you like the video below and give this video a big old thumbs up. And think about subscribing to my channel. It really helps me out because I want to be able to get my content out to other people like me who aren't your traditional nursing students. So stay tuned. Okay, so I apologize if you hear a lawnmower in the background. Yes, it's December, and yes, my husband decided to mow the grass. So, bear with me. Hopefully you can't hear it because our yard's pretty big, so if you do, I apologize, and I'll scrap the video and start over. So, I made a list of everything that I want to talk about. First off, I want to talk about where I am. There's that mower that you're going to be able to hear. So, like I said, week 16 of my first semester. This semester, it went really, really fast, actually. So, I apologize for not making any content because, well, I didn't realize how busy I would be. During the entire semester, I remained working pretty much full-time at my local hospital. Let me get a drink. Hold on a minute. Okay, so I continued to work almost full-time pretty much throughout the entire semester until, well, about a month before the end of the semester. I let my manager know that my finals were going to be held on different days than what my scheduled classes were, and we couldn't come to where we could actually work on my schedule, so I stepped back into a PRN as needed position. So now I just call and I kind of make my own schedule. I have to work 16 hours a month, and no weekends, no holiday requirements, which is really nice, especially because, well, it is December. In healthcare, like, I haven't had a holiday off and feels like forever. So, and I worked Thanksgiving. So, yeah, that is kind of where I'm at currently. So, throughout the semester, like my first day, I was so nervous. Like, I thought I was going to be the oldest person in my class. I'm not. I didn't know what to expect. I thought it's really hard. My professors are going to be so awful. They're not. First day of class, first week of class was so overwhelming. Like, I didn't know how I was going to do, like, I tried a planner. Planners didn't work for me. Like, I knew it wasn't going to work after the first week. Week 2, I found these awesome things in the back to school section at Walmart. And I think I may have shown them in my last video, but I'm not 100% sure. I have made videos and then decided not to put them out. So bear with me if any of this information is repeated. So I actually watched Kiara Madison, I believe is her name. She's also on YouTube. She just graduated nursing school and passed her NCLEX. So congratulations. But she called them knock-knock pads, which I thought was a really interesting idea instead of a planner, because I usually am a planner person, but this semester it just wasn't working. I needed to see everything that I needed to do for the entire week. So I found these pads, and they typically said like the days of the weeks, but I took whiteout, and I had 3 classes. No, I had 4 classes. With lab and clinical, and there were 6 boxes, so I was able to white out the days of the week and write in my classes, which with each assignment that was due for that specific week. So when I was done, I like to mark things off, so I would just highlight it and be like, okay, that's one thing off my list. I also had some extra spaces where I had some, like, assignments through ATI, which is what my school uses. And then we also had Prep U assignments, which are actually through our textbook. I believe it's Lippincott. So that's what I used, was this lovely sheet of paper. And I used these probably until like week 13 or 14, because once we got down to the nitty gritty, there wasn't as many assignments, so I could just log into my Canvas, see my assignments, do them, submit them, and be done with it. So I really, really like these, and I will probably continue to do this next semester. I actually think bought 2 or 3 pads of them so that each week I could have my own, so I should have plenty to get through the rest of the program. But I also bought these, which can go on my refrigerator, and it has weekly plans, and it has the days of the week on it also, with goals and everything. So I think I'm going to use this next semester because I have to be really, really organized next semester. So, during the end of my second week, I got COVID. So I had never had it in the 2.5 years or however long it's been now that we've been dealing with it. I've never had it. So of course I start nursing school and I would be the one to get it because that's my luck. But luckily, on the other hand, week 3 of school was virtual, so I didn't miss any of my classes. I was able to complete everything on time and as scheduled, just like I would have if I wouldn't have been sick. So that was something really cool. I wrote down anything that sticks out to me. So I know one of the biggest complaints while I was in nursing school this semester was the grading scale. Most nursing schools have their own grading scales. They're different than like your prerequisites. So that was something that stuck out to me because I work in a hospital. I work with other people that are also in nursing school at other schools. And the one girl said that a passing grade for her was like a 75%. And which I've seen that on YouTube with other influencers too, talking about their grading scale, that like a 75 is passing. So for my school, actually an 80% is the lowest you can get and still pass. A 79.99 is failing, which was shocking to me. If anybody knows, it's kind of hard to get an 80% if, you know, you're used to getting a 75, which is what your typical prerequisite classes are. So this is something that actually kind of bothers me because you go through all these prereqs to get into your program and you're slamming at 75s, which is a C, and then they expect 80s out of you in nursing school because they expect more. And I get it. We are going to have people's lives in our hands. But once we get out of school, nobody's ever going to ask me what my grades were in school. I already know this going in. So that was something that even for like my manager at work, I said, look, I'm full time and I have to pull an 80%. And she didn't even understand like why an 80 because it's so high. But my school's NCLEX rate is also really, really high. So they expect a lot, but it's for my benefit in the long run. So I don't want to complain about it too much or even think about it. Like, okay, my exam's 40 questions. I can miss 8 and still get an 80%. And that's how I go into my exams at this point. Before I started nursing school, I was a 4.0 student. Straight A's, never had to study. Nursing school is different. That was something that surprised me. I don't know why. I thought my background, 10 years as a nurse's aide, would help me. And it did, but it didn't. Because the downside to that is that you see a lot of things that aren't done by the book. Or things that aren't done correctly. They're done correctly. That's just different in the real world versus NCLEX world. Okay, so for instance, which if you're in nursing school, you'll know what I mean. In my book for an oxygen stat, an SpO2, my book says anything below a 95% is like emergent. Well, in the real world, like some people who have COPD live at 88%. So I have to get that out of my head because I know everything is perfect in the NCLEX world and I have everything I need. I have the doctor's orders. I have all the staff I could ever want. And I have to like stop and remind myself on a daily basis on questions, on tests that that it's not real world, that real world is different. But I guess that also prepares me for when I do become a nurse. I already know what to expect instead of being prepared for this book world and this paradise. I already have a leg up on that. So that's kind of exciting. My clinicals, I'm trying to think of like what was my very favorite part of nursing school so far. Everybody says clinicals. When we were asked the other day, everybody said clinicals. But for me, it wasn't my clinicals because I'm already working in a clinical setting. So every time I go to work, it's like I'm in a clinical because my nurses that I work with are great. And when I have questions, they answer them. They give me tips and tricks. So basically, all of my classes were really important to me, and they gave me a better understanding on how to care for my patients in the real world. And I got to see, and it actually helped me understand the material a little bit better when I would actually see a perfusion problem, an oxygenation problem. Like I understood more of what was going on than what I did as an aide. It just opened my eyes a little bit. It was like I had this fog, and the fog is lifting, which is, it's kind of nice that things are starting to click. I've talked to some of my nurses that I work with, and they can't believe that I'm able to carry on a conversation like I do talking about the things that I do, just being first semester in nursing school, which is kind of a compliment too. So, what else? Oh, I wanted to give some tips and tricks. So I know everybody gives tips and tricks, but these are things that I learned throughout the semester that I believe kind of helped. So, get organized. Everybody says get organized, but stay organized. I got organized. I spent a lot of time getting organized. So much so that I was spending more time organizing than studying. Don't do that. Don't do that. Find something that works and stick to it. Make sure that you stick to it, because right now, as it stands, I have a binder that my camera's on. That is my first semester. But I haven't put anything in it in probably 8 weeks. So I, at the end of my semester, have to go through and hole punch all of my papers and put them in this binder so that I'm organized when I have to study for my NCLEX. The other day, I was going through my notes, and I couldn't find my notes. Like, I know I wrote this down, but I can't find where I wrote it down at. So find a system that works for you and stick with it. And if something isn't, here's my next tip. If something isn't working for you, then don't get hung up on it. Try something different. If you are always using a planner and you've always used a planner, and this time it's just not how your brain wants to work, it's okay. Grab one of these pads. Like, if you have only ever used these pads, but you need to see it on a calendar, then grab a planner, try it. If it doesn't work, hang it up and don't spend too much time on it. Listen to your classmates, because classmates have so many tips, or so many different ways to learn, which we learned this semester, and everybody has their own way of doing things. I learned a specific way to do my notes, which I showed several other classmates of mine who ended up turning my notes, my method of note-taking, into their own method of note-taking and making these beautiful study guides, which they would share with the entire class, which I think is phenomenal. So that leads me to my next one. Make friends. Don't try to be the Lone Ranger. Don't try to do nursing school on your own, because you need the support system. You need somebody to vent to, because it's so overwhelming at times. And there would be times where I would be so overwhelmed at school, and I would come home and I would try to talk to my husband about it, and he didn't understand. And God bless him, because he's dealt with a lot this semester. But he didn't understand exactly what I would be going through, and he's such a powerhouse when it comes to supporting me and telling me that, I'm smart and I can do it, which, great. I need to hear it all the time. All the reassurance, right? But I want to be able to vent and be like, you know what? You're right. That does suck. Like, an 80%, wow, that is high, but you can do, this is what my husband would say, is an 80%, wow, that's really high, but I expect that out of you because you're smart. Thank you. I appreciate all the support you've given me this semester. And I really mean it, because it's been a roller coaster. I have been emotional, where I'm starting to get emotional now just talking about it, because you're so excited and you're like, let's go, let's go, let's go. And then it's like, oh, now I'm on this ride and it's scary, and there's highs, there's lows, there's a turn, they're going to throw a curveball at you. That's what nursing school is in reality. It's just a roller coaster ride for the next 2.5 years. And there's some times where I've actually sat and I'm like, I'm questioning all of my life choices right now, because do I really want to be a nurse? And then something will happen at work and I'm like, this is why I'm going to be a nurse, because I'm not going to be like this one that I work with, and I'm not going to be like this one that I've met throughout the years. I'm going to be better than that, and my patients deserve this type of care that only I am able to provide. And that's how I put it in my mind. So, what else? How's nursing school going for everyone? Like, I want to know down in the comments how nursing school is going for you. Have you found any tips and tricks that you would like to share? What kind of content do you guys want to see? I think my next video, after I get through finals, because that's this week, I'm going to show you how I used my iPad and all the different apps that I've used throughout the semester. And about doing an unboxing. I got a new phone, but it's not here yet. So I thought about doing a new phone unboxing, try something a little bit different, something different than nursing school. Like I said, my next semester starts in January. And I'll tell you about how second semester is kind of aligned so that you guys know what to expect. So my second semester, I am taking microbiology. I already know I'm taking that class. I also have to take mental health, and then I also have to take Med-Surg 1. So, my Med-Surg 1 is 8 weeks, and you have to pass that class with an 80% before you can start mental health the second 8 weeks. And then there's clinicals and stuff that go along with that, and then micro. And I think that's all I have to take this semester, because the other class I've already taken. So that I'm actually like ahead of schedule, I guess. I could probably take an interpersonal communications class if I feel like I have time, but I know that because we actually have returning classmates in my program that failed out of one of their semesters, and they had to restart the entire program, because that's another thing that surprised me about my program is you can't just fail one class and just retake that class. No, they make you start from the beginning, which can get really, really costly. So that's another reason why I'm really taking the time to study now. Yeah, I think that's it. So, like I said, leave me a comment down below. Let me know you're watching. I'm sorry it's taken so long, and I'm sorry I look like a walking zombie, but that's reality when you're in nursing school and it's finals week. So, wish me luck, and I will talk to you soon.